This is Ruth Kilcher recording some shorelines and some poems for Margaret Mielke. This one is entitled Seething Sea, Bare Land, Welcome November. Merrily the leaves dance across the clearing, dash madly along the highway, whirl away in the wild exuberant wind. Welcome November. Out at sea the tempest rages, whips the waves into frothy whitecaps, peaks of constantly spilling foam. It batters the beaches, furiously undermining the barren bluffs with abnormally high tidal waters, smashing drifting trees high against the boulders, rolling huge chunks of shining coal across the sand, heaving, pulling, pushing, churning, uprooting merciless the twisted alders that frantically try to cling to the meager soil. Lucky he who is safe in port. But in a solemn half-ring the mountains rise behind the bay. All covered with fresh fallen snow they rise, inaccessible, remote. The clear vision of November is upon us, they seem to say. As far as the eye can see, they have been swept by the broad, whitening hand of November. Seething the sea and bare the earth, but shining the crests of November. Herds of cattle trotting home to their winter quarters after many moon in the salt water flats, the lush valleys of summer pastures along the rushing river. Glad to be home in familiar grounds, to bed down at night in the shelter of age-old trees, finding a favorite trunk to rub furry hide against, tempted by the tantalizing smell of the haystack nearby, inaccessible, alas, behind a barbed wire fence. No bird sings. Through the clacking of the frosty wind, the axe is loud. Timber cracking, logs for homes, logs for the mills, smaller ones for sturdy fence posts. Across the valley and over the hill, a chainsaw purrs sweetly, high, insistent. Now and then a dog, surely a burly one and large, barks from a homestead deep and gruff-like. It is immediately answered by the shrill, nervous yipping of another canine, small and ferocious-looking, this one, no doubt, on the other side of the canyon. The smell of a burning fire drifts through the woods now and then. Beams of light slash swiftly through clouds that seem to chase each other. They light up the motley trail, glance off the frozen pond, the shallow lakes. They are covered with aisles of leaves in bronze and fawn. Tomorrow, perhaps, the trees will be filmed over with snow. Melancholy, perhaps, will permeate the gloom of the evening soon. Tomorrow, perhaps, winter and finality. Only the tameless gulls will wing and sway above the ragged shores, screaming sharply now and then. Tomorrow, the pallid thrill of snowy fallows will be all around us, and at nights, coyotes howl. This poem is entitled The Green Man. I did not know he lived among the trees, tall as a tree himself and just as proud, and seasoned by the year's full measured span, by driving snow, by rain and sleet, by sun and moon and drifting cloud, by swift and sudden winds or fierce and reckless storms. Aswirl with merry autumn leaves is he, emblazoned with the bursting bloom of spring, man of the woods, the green man. I did not know the skies were in his eyes, blue haze of summer days, midwinter's dazzling sheen, deep indigo of myriad nights aflame with stars. Nor did I know the steadfast murmur of his heart was like the murmuring of hidden springs beneath his feet, now quickening and now receding, but forever there. How could I know his graceful, easy stride matched that of the wild beasts within the timber, that he was just as supple, strong and lean and limber? So oftentimes his carefree, happy laughter would echo from the sun-enchanted glades. Part of the sylvan melody is he, of thousand lambent and seraphic sounds, bubbling with the ever-bubbling brook, ebbing, flowing with the teasing breeze, gleeful rumble, haunting resonance, crystal ring of merriment and ease. Through ochre shadows, fawn and bronze and tan he moves, now lost in opalescent green and now emerging from the viridescence of the heartland. He is a whisper on a whispering trail, ephemeral track through lichen, grass and fern. A splendid and elusive shape is he among the splendor of the woodland scene, the green man. Oh, how I'm longing for the soothing green, the healing green of sappy trees, embrace of countless nights aquamarine, drowning in absent-colored, milky seas that spill incessantly upon the boundless shore and lap with tenderness the surging forest's rim, primeval forest under sapphire skies. Someday I'll find him, ages hence, birds in his tangled locks of silver green, luxuriant moss around his rooted feet, and green, oh green, his lissom limbs. Death and winter come in many colors. Lightning swift, the silvery hawk streaks through the hovering dawn, pushes ruthlessly into the shelter of the farmyard with the sunrise, shattering the peace of a long, hot summer, scattering the feathered folk. Death is his summons. Sharp-taloned death that sinks into the one that did not get away in time. Sharp-beaked death, hacking away at soft, yielding flesh, tearing out heart and liver, gorging. Well may the squirrels aroused now shrill their note of growing alarm through the awakening woods. Well may the jays and the magpies indignantly chatter. The valiant rooster may well now voice bewildered protest. He sounds a warning of utmost danger. Everyone within range of hearing, hear, the enemy has struck. Too late now. Too late, at least for the one that did not reach a safe place in time. Foolhardy, young and unsuspecting hen, she who foraged a bit too far, busily picking chickweed seed in the open fields. Unwise as yet in the harsh and cruel ways of the country, being of this year's flock only, in the egg yet last May. This is a lesson well learned, my pretty chicks, white ones, brown ones and speckled ones, says the rooster in no uncertain terms. From now on beware, and just to make sure they know what he means, he softly utters his caw, whereupon they all tilt their heads this way, that way, flickering eyes scanning the sky. At least as much of it as they can see from where they are, close to the overhand protection of the haystack. And one by one they pass the word along, caw, beware. While death in this instance came suddenly in the grey and silent shape of a hawk, it may come in other shapes and other forms any time, anywhere. Perhaps it comes quietly one glorious afternoon this Indian summer, while the fireweed seed, released and airborne at last, drift merrily, float high and higher, only to sink to the ground somewhere, sometime, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. While the blades of grass, green still, waft gently in the stirring breeze, singing a song of praise, while the last currents drip off the bush and melt into the mossy ground beneath. The little spider hung a lovely web sheerness between the